Welcome. Let's get this show on the road. I think I am now live. Someone in chat will hopefully confirm that I am. And if I see no reply, then I assume it's not working. Rather than no one's watching. We won't assume that. Right, there's stuff to be done today. Decisions to be made. Specifically, am I going to bother with the fusion? That is the big question. I guess I've not got very far on the champion training yet, and the dungeon divers still needs a lot of work. A lot in yeah, less than 24 hours. It's easily done. It's just, can I be bothered is the question that needs to be answered. And probably need to do some arena today. And this weekend I also need to do some Hydra. Plenty of stuff to be done. Yeah, it's really about, is there the enthusiasm and interest to do it? Probably yes. I'd say just about get it done. Let's have a remind ourselves, what are we doing it for? Average A1, decent A1, A2 usable, A3 reasonable. Really about the passive. Whether we can be bothered. I think we will. I think we'll do it. I think we will do it. Am I doing a SAF? You'll have to be more specific. Because I start on time, so I'm not late. So it can't be that dimension. Maybe mean something else. We'll give a few people the opportunity to join. Do need to do some artifact enhancement as well. So in the meantime, let's just get a little bit of champion training going, and then potentially chat will have some ideas as to what we should do this evening. Have about an hour and a half to stream. So what is the most interesting 90 minutes of raid we can do? I have to do champion training, but I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, let alone the audience of a stream. So I'll do that one offline. We could do a bit of tag team. We could do a bit of Hydra. Those are probably the two more interesting parts. With respect to Dungeon Divers, no, I will not be maxing it. I will be just scraping the 3700 required to get the fragments. And even that, I think they should be grateful for me even to do that. It's a lot of energy to use in a short space of time. And there isn't really that much that's worth using the energy on. The max reward on the spider was pretty disappointing, if I remember correctly. It's a 4-star chicken, so I haven't even actually maxed it yet. But if I do kind of struggle a little bit with time, spider is by far the fastest way for me to max out the points I need. When do I find the time to run Minotaur? Well, usually during CVC. That tends to be when I do some Minotaur farming. I don't necessarily run a full team. It very much depends on what I'm trying to do. If I'm trying to rush a single champion's masteries, then I'll just I'll use, you know, pretty much I'll just use Leoris and that one champion, so I get more experience into that single champion. Otherwise, I think these days I tend to run 2 champions with 3 that need scrolls. That's been my been my recent approach, simply because if I run a partner with Leoris, the runtime is that bit quicker. So I think I can do it's either like 15 or 20 seconds Minotaur with Leoris and Trunda together. Or is it Leoris and Hefrak? I think it's Leoris and Hefrak together. And it's just like, I'd rather do that. Less time in the game. That's the main objective. I'm glad you enjoyed the reaction to JGig's video. I've never done I've never even tried to record a reaction, let alone upload it to YouTube. So it was the first time I'd ever had an attempt at it. I've already been told I made a little mistake in my editing where I accidentally let one of the adverts go through. I thought I'd managed to snip them all out so you didn't have to watch the ads in YouTube that would have been added in my own video, plus the ads that were added in his video in my video. So that would be a little bit ridiculous. All the adverts. But yeah. I think the other thing that's worth us talking about on the stream this evening is what non-raid content will I look to do? And I'm already kind of thinking next weekend is when I want to do something non-raid related. I'll start off just in a stream, and it could be that we do a little bit of World of Warcraft hardcore, because I haven't played World of Warcraft for like, I don't know, when did Cataclysm first come out? Probably what, 10, 12 years ago? I guess it's got to be even maybe longer, to be honest. Anyway, I did play World of Warcraft from regular vanilla release through to Cataclysm, but I haven't played at all since then. But I have seen the odd death compilation recently, and hardcore seems like a bit of fun. To be honest, I always used to play things like Diablo 2 on hardcore, and even Path of Exile I played for a bit on hardcore many years ago. So I'm not a stranger to handicapping myself, which I guess is another reason why I play gacha games free to play. It's got to be something silly, right? The thing with like League of Legends, I never actually played League myself, but I did play a bit of Dota, probably around 10 years ago. I think around 2013, 2014, that kind of time, I played a bit of Dota. You have to play it a lot to be any good. Like, you can't just pick it up. And I don't have the time or the inclination to get good at a really competitive game. I'd rather, I don't know. It's just it sounds like too much, to be honest. Maybe if I was a lot younger, it would be something that would be I would consider doing. I'm getting distracted with my champion training as multitasking. Streaming is hard, I have to say. I don't do it very often. There's a reason for that. Trying to balance doing something in game and watching the chat and replying. That's a challenge. I could see myself easily dying in hardcore trying to read chat if I do it. The other option would be something like Baldur's Gate 3 or Diablo 4. I think I want to not do another mobile game, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like all the gacha games are just very repetitive of one another. And just think it would be more interesting to do something else. More for me, to be honest. Less about whether it's more interesting content or not. After all, I do this because for me it's not a job. I do it for enjoyment as a hobby. So, you know, I don't really want to. I don't really want to do like another mobile game in that regard. I think you've got to do like. Right, my internet seems to have recovered. That is a concern of mine. My internet does seem to be a little bit flaky, which if I did do hardcore would be a problem. I'd probably have to try and at least hook up a wired connection to the router, see if that see if it's wireless dropouts rather than the actual internet dropping out. Need to investigate that a bit, but that would be a concern. I wouldn't want to die to like lag or a disconnect. If I were to play it and I die, I want to die because I make a bad mistake. You know. Saf seems to really enjoy Diablo. Yeah, he's said to me that it's actually good. Well, he's enjoying it anyway, and it's definitely. I really loved Diablo 2. That was like the first game that got me into playing online, and I grinded that a lot. God, I played that game so much when I was younger. Um, Diablo 3 never really interested me quite as much. Like I did play it, but it just wasn't anywhere near the magic that D2 had. And I haven't actually played Diablo 4 yet. I'm almost afraid to play it because I want it to be like I have that same experience that I had with Diablo 2, but I don't think it's possible that it could ever live up to that. And it's just time. You know, I was playing 2 accounts on Raid for most of this year, and that just takes up way too much time. Uh, it's it's brutal how much time Raid takes, which is another reason why I don't want to do another mobile game. I'd rather do something else where the actual gameplay is more engaging and more interesting, and that can it could be the content itself is to actually just play the game, and kind of maybe there'll be some guides or something that would come from that. I'd say it's got to be pretty hard to create any meaningful guides in World of Warcraft these days. Surely it's been done to death by now, unless you play like the new content. But in that regard, like Season of Discovery, which I watched a little bit of a video about, sounds quite interesting. You know, bit of classic plus, something new, something people haven't seen. But again, like it's a heavily covered game. I'm sure the major content creators would get everything done without the need for a free to player. If you've not played D4 until now, don't. I'm a big fan of D2. D4 was very unsatisfactory. Yeah. You see, that's my worry. My worry is that I'd play it and just be disappointed that it just wouldn't live up to the memories. And it's quite nice I'd have those memories, and they don't need to be tarnished. As I was saying though, what do people want me to do after I've used up this last bit of energy? Because I'm sure you don't want to watch me do champion training. Like no one wants to do that. Would you rather a bit of Hydra, a bit of tag team? You just want to chat? Like what is going on with everyone in chat this evening? On this Saturday evening here in the UK or in Europe, and obviously anyone in Asia or in the Americas is in a very different time than that. But yeah, in Western Europe, it's very much early evening. Tag team gets a vote, and I do actually have to do tag team. So it's not in fact, I have to do Hydra as well. So neither of them are a waste of time. But yeah, probably tag teams maybe fractionally more interesting, because Hydra can be kind of repetitive in itself, whereas at least with a bit of tag team, there's variation. I also need to actually build a few other champions, because you know, Sun Wukong I think would help if I actually built him for one. And I feel like I need some other options. I was doing this a bit of tag team, trying to get back into like gold 2, gold 3 area. because I dropped down actually to silver 3 and I was away on holiday. I'm back to gold 1 now, and I'd quite like to get to gold 2 this reset in time for what we expect will be yet another CVC. And it does seem that bit more competitive. Gold 1's a lot more competitive than I remember it being. It feels more competitive than Gold 2 was, actually, to be honest, which is where I had been for a long time, just coasting whilst I was doing the free-to-play challenge. Yeah, Gold Gold 1 seems pretty competitive these days. Playing a different game with mods. What sort of mods? To buy rare only arenas, epic only as a game mode. It would be fun if they actually had modifiers on arena. This is what I had suggested at one point. I think live arena is where modifiers should exist, but they won't do it because you know the whole idea is they want you to buy shards to get the best champions. They want you to buy, you know, the gear. They want you to buy power. So if they create modifiers that level the playing field, then it kind of nullifies the whole monetization model. So they're not going to do it, but it would make it more interesting for 99.5% of the player base. But it is what it is. There's no point getting too upset about it. But I think even like they could do faction modifiers, they could do rarity modifiers. It would just make it more fun, like you say. And I think for a lot of players, people would probably chase specific champions in those factions. So in some ways, potentially, it would actually it would be more pay to win than it currently is. Who knows? At least the faction specific stuff could be. The rarity stuff obviously wouldn't. Right, who are we gonna try and beat? Let's just do a refresh and go from the top. Right, first one up, we got a speed team with a Tormin. I think that should be fine as a team to go against that. Otherwise, I could do a go second with Mithrala and Stoneskin Duchess. That would be the other option. Let's see what we got in the other ones first. I will probably quite like that. And let's go like this. And I'm gonna go speed team against fight 3 because I want to put skills on cooldown. We do have champion tags. Where are you? There you go, Basher. So that's my classic speed team. I need a way of stripping buffs. They've got 2 cleansers though. That's kind of annoying. I'll probably go for 2 forms of strip. Then a single nuker should be fine. Also got 2 revivers and a reset. I think that seems like a reasonable way of doing it. What the difference is in builds, one of my Duchesses is in Stone Skin, the other is in Protection. There you go, fight 1, easily done. We didn't win the speed race in fight 2, which is disappointing. Let's see what we can do. Try and sleep. Damn, I'm actually going to wake them up. So let's try and get the block buffs out. And at least we didn't get the block damage. Go for a nuke. And let's kill the reviver. Let's see if we can get something going. I want to kill Elva. So again, see if we can get provoke or something. We didn't. Let's hoping for the provoke there. Anyway, we got the kill. Not as clean as one would have liked, but we got the job done. When do I choose one over the other? When I use the protection, if the opposition have any kind of strippers, basically, particularly against Uko, I probably should actually have run the Stone Skin one against this setup because they don't actually have a single stripper, but and also the one in protection has what do you call it, polymorph, but it's not high enough level to be impactful because she doesn't have accuracy. I never bothered changing it. Anyway, there we go. We won. 3 fights. Let's go to the next one. This is probably going to have the Efrak team. So when Warlord puts my skills on cooldown, I should get a kill of 3. I probably won't kill Mithrala straight out, but Candrafon should be able to help that go. This is a bit of a pain, but I think this team will do fine against it. It's really dependent. Actually, there's no way I'm going to win the speed race, so let's go for a very different setup. Let's put our own Ultimate Death Knight. Let's have a cleanser ourselves, and then we have a solitary nuke spot. They only have 1 reviver. I have an idea, but it's risky. This is what we have. We're going to try the Shamail, see if I can one-shot the Siffy. And then then I should be able to kill the rest of them, really. And I need Mithrala because I'm going to be put to sleep. And Duchess I probably will need. Although arguably I could run no Duchess. Right, and the first team we've got, let's go like that. And who is going to be our 4th champion? It's a good question. I think I'll go for Pythian. Give me several forms of revive. I'll hold off using the cleanse. Got the provoke. It's kind of nice. Then Stone Skin's gone from their Duchess. Let's do a kill. And let's see if we get we even killed with 2 weak hits. There you go. Thoughts about our merger? I mean, if it means that we have people that are interested to to keep the clan well maintained, then I'm all for it. I think it's good for us. There you go. We killed the Siffy nice and easy. Now we just need to basically survive, and yeah, I think I'll just kill you. Try and get Rotos down to under half health if I can, and then Shamir will be able to finish him off nice and easy. There we go. And he did not do what I was expecting him to do. That was weird. Why didn't he put my skills on cooldown? I mean, I won it anyway, but I'm baffled. I don't know why my Warlord opened with the A2. Right. There's no point us fighting this player because their score's too low, and if we were to lose, it would be a waste of our points. We'd lose too many. Who is next? Right, this is why I need to do my own Sun Wukong. Why do I have a food champion in this team? The idea is that this champion gets killed and Hefrak will use the passive whenever an ally is killed, instantly attacks with the A2, which does a lot of damage. So we have Hefrak and Kandrafon here, both in Stone Skin. We should get a A2 off from Hefrak. I tend to use it against speed teams that are reasonably squishy, particularly ones that are going to put my skills on cooldown. Because if they're going to put my skills on cooldown, I can't really go for a really tanky go second team because my skills won't be. I won't have any skills. So this kind of bypasses Warlords and Yumiko's to a reasonable ability. And then I typically put the Lydia in there just in case like the Arbiter is tanky enough to survive, for instance. Then at least I'll get a block on the revive from Lydia. So it usually works quite nicely. Right, what are we going to have to do here? I think this team again, I need my protection set against Sun Wukong. I do want a way of stripping their buffs, but I would say I probably want Ramantu there. Would probably be better. I would like a cleanser as well. But do I want Pythian? Probably ideally want Mithrala there. Let's try that. First team. Kind of annoying team. I think we could try this. This is always quite fun. A double Shamil and a reset. They've got 2 revivers. Hopefully, they're not both in Stone Skin. Actually, I kind of need... Because of Uko, kind of need protection there. At which point, maybe I'm better off going for a reviver, cleanser this team as well, just in case. Not sure. I think we go with that. We give it a go. Should be fun. And then second team, we said we were going to go with Ramantu. I think we give that a go like that. And third team, I feel like a traditional speed team should pretty much suffice. Get Basher in there. And probably, I think we can probably do it with Trunda. Ideally, someone to strip buffs or... Yeah, maybe just strip buffs. We're not actually using Loris, we can put him there. We do this, and then we don't have a buff strip on the first fight. That probably shouldn't be an issue. They don't have any polymorph in the third fight either. But I could go for the second Kaimar, who's actually a resistance build. Because I only really want the reset. Let's try that. Right. At least we got the sleep on Uko. So Duchess dead, Uko dead. Reset. And now this is aggressive. And I don't think I can do it. No, I couldn't. Sometimes it's possible. for me to kill through Stone Skin, but not with. Yeah, I think I might have actually thrown the fight as a result, but we'll see. Oh, come on. We can just get back. Nah. Yeah, we're done for. I should have just attacked the single target on Ultimate Death Knight. I wanted to be aggressive though. It is I have killed a Mortu through Stone Skin with Shamil before, and it is fun if you can do it. And let's just do that. Kill you. Then we can hit auto. I think the fusion would make any of my tag teams? Now, I don't know. I don't know. Yes, in certain instances, I would like to try the new fusion in tag team, but whether I'd end up actually using it that much, not sure. Right, let's sleep you. Put your skills on cooldown. The sleep didn't really do anything in the end, but we did it anyway. Nuke. Anyone still alive? Okay, we'll reset. Skills on cooldown again. Rebuff our turn meter and attack. Then we'll go for another A3 from Leoris. Should be done. So yeah, I threw that first fight away. That was a mistake. I also actually should have had Stone Skin Duchess. Probably. But I had protection against Uko because I wasn't sure if I'd be able to kill Uko before he got a turn. Is the shuffling just for you? Well, no. I'd say when it gets hard, when the teams are difficult, I do have to shuffle. So it isn't just for the audience. Right, what are we going to do? Fight 1, we have a Hegemon, and we have a Mortu. So I'm probably going to go for Leoris in fight 1 with Stone Skin Duchess, potentially Stone Skin Duchess anyway. I'm not going to win the speed race in fight 2. That's for certain. I'll probably try Staltus in fight 2. I want to go defensive based. And I probably will need Ultimate Death Knight as well. I'm going to get increased defense and the cleanse against Kaimar from Mithrala, which means I need. I would normally just put Duchess there, but Duchess against Harima is not ideal. But I still might do it. Let's finish picking fight 1. Hegemon, so we'll probably go Pythian. I mean, potentially I could do that. We definitely want Pythian in fight 1. Ideally, I'd get increased attack, so I probably will do this. This also gives me a solution against Mortu, but with Pythian and Duchess and quite high team power, I think I actually need a second form of damage in fight 1. And since we got 2 spirit, I'll probably go like that. That should be alright. Fight 2, we need the 4th champion. It could be Elva. It could be Duchess. And in fight 3, we probably want Ramantu. Almost certainly want Ramantu. They're going to do quite a lot of damage to us there. I probably actually want to bring my own Candraf on. They don't have a way of. The only form of buff strip is in fight 2. These are tough teams. These are definitely tough teams. They don't have any form of cleanse, but they do have a lot of buffs. I only have 1 form of cleanse myself, but not really any way of staying alive. Probably go for Valkyrie. And then in fight 2, I could go Elva in fight 2, although she's not that tanky. And Haruma, I think, is gonna. Yeah. It's a bit of a risk. I'm not massively happy with these. Actually, maybe I should just go Uko. I need a form of stripping their buffs. Yeah, let's try that. Who knows? This is I probably shouldn't be fighting this team, or these teams rather. But this probably is for the benefit of the stream. Alright, let's try and take you out. Then just A1. Let's just revive. And just gonna have to A1 again. Let's see. Buff. Luke. That didn't. I was hoping to get under 50 and get the double hit. This is kind of problematic. Still don't have Veil. Haven't managed to trigger Mortu yet. So we're still kind of in it. Good damage on Duchess there. Now we can get ourselves in Veil. Let's go for the double hit. And even if Mortu had had Peril, we would have been fine. And we got it done. Is Protection Emic a thing? I don't see why not. I just haven't built my Emic yet. He's yet another champion that I'm like, I should build. I also should, there's so many champions. There's so many champions I'd like to build. We haven't been put to sleep yet, so let's just buff ourselves. They have now buffed, so let's see if we can get block buffs out there. I'm going to go for the double hit, because then I can get rid of Rotus. Want to try and get rid of Siphi. Potentially a little bit risky there. I used in theory, my cleanse. There we go, that's fine. We did the job. We did a thing. There we go. Have I built the monkey? No, I have not. This is like I have barely built a single champion on this account since the start of the year. It's kind of ridiculous. Right, there's no way I'm gonna kill Duchess, but I'm gonna go in A1 anyway. And now it didn't save the strip. That was a mistake. Let's just do that because then I can get the fears out. Just need to A1. I might as well try and buff myself if I can. It was only a regular fear, so it wasn't a big issue. The monkey is way better, no doubt. I just haven't built it. But I make do with what I have. We will build him probably this weekend. I've noticed it as I've been doing tag team earlier today and right now that having the monkey as another Nuka stripper option, I'm not sure how I'd actually want to build him. I think that's part of it. Is do I want to build him as a Nuka with like average accuracy? Do I want to go really high accuracy and use him more as a support champion like I do Romantu? Do I want him in Savage? Do I want him in Stone Skin? You know, I don't know. and that's why I haven't built him yet. But he's ready. Like if we just jump out and we have a quick look through, what do I want to show? So like Helikath is another example of a champion where I've got enough scrolls for T6. I only ever built him just to do Iron Twins, and I never touched him since. Ragash could be another option that I could use if I actually gave him gear. Constantine I never have actually used in Arena, but I could potentially in some circumstances. He's not terribly built at the moment, but not particularly, not like really well built. I don't have a Necra though. That's part of the problem. So keeping him alive is a bit of a problem. Turvolt could be built, could be fun for certain compositions. Second Staltus could be built. Probably for Dragon, to be honest. Razelvarg should get built at some point, probably for Hydra. Wukong, have all the masteries, is booked, just needs to actually be built. Nogdar needs a bit more on the scrolls side, would also be fun for certain compositions. Who else is kind of interesting? Gala could be built. Scrolls need to be finished. Could definitely be used somewhere. Those are kind of the main ones. Ray. I don't really think Ray gets used, really, to be honest. Kyoku potentially could be used as a protector in some instances. Gurgo, I don't think I'd actually use Gurgo in Arena anyway. My point is, there's a lot of champions that are sat on my account that could be used. There's probably some more in... oh yeah, Nishak, another champion that I never end up building. That have. What's stopping me? Time. It's purely time, not books. All those champions I showed you are all fully booked anyway. Plus, I have more books in reserve anyway. So it's definitely not. It's not an issue of booking. It's an issue of time. And yeah, time is the most precious resource of all. Let's do a little bit more Arena. Then maybe we'll do a bit of Hydra or something. I built Artak this year. You're right, I did. Artak. That's a new champion for me to have built this year. Is that it? I've rebuilt a few champions, but not many. I think Artak might be like the only one that's actually genuinely been built. And Uko. Why did I skip? Which one? Oh, this one. I skipped it because the score was too low. So if I lose, I'm going to lose a lot of points. Oh yeah, Newt's another one this year. So I'm trying to pick teams that are really no more than 100 points below me. Otherwise, it becomes too risky. So we'll probably do this 902 here and then try this guy at the bottom, and then we'll refresh, basically. So a classic Nuka speed team will go with a classic go second, in which case we'll do that plus we're going to go with Asuga as a protector and Candraphon. So that's a nice classic go second. Stone skin, actually not in stone skin. In Guardian. I should probably rebuild Asuga in stone skin just to join the party. Second team, we have an odd one there. Okay, let's go. Third team, we want... That works nicely. Potentially that. And I think that. Well, I like that. And then second team, I think we'll just go for my speed team, to be honest. Where are you hiding? So I tend to have sort of a few different compositions that I go back to. So I very often use this kind of cleave team. I quite often use a go second that looks like this. I tend to pick Ultimate Death Knight against Rotos, my Protection Duchess against Uko. If they have a lot of buffs, I'll bring some kind of buff strip of my own, in this case, Uko. And then here I decided that I would go with Steltus. I could easily have picked Candrathon in this composition as well. But I thought it would be fun just to use a different champion, really. I'm actually more worried about Fight 2 than I am Fight 3. I do wonder if maybe I should be going down a different route here. Because these two champions are extremely squishy. And I don't think Lyris is going to be able to nuke through the Necrit. Particularly with Ultimate Death Knight. So maybe we're better off doing something a bit different. Going for Candrathon of our own. Swap them round. A Pythian. We could probably go for Valkyrie. That's not going to work at all. How are we going to get the speed? Go for our own Kymar. Is our Kymar going to be faster? That seems risky as well, to be honest. I really want to put Duchess here, but I need Duchess in this team. Silver's a risk. I could go that way round. I actually don't need Mithrala in the top team. So yeah, I think that way round is better. So we have a cleanse of our own and strengthen. Could do that. We could do this. Yeah, let's do this. And then who's our fourth gonna be? Maybe that. Good. We'll give that a go. And in the first composition, we've got protection, revive, a attacker, and we want probably another Duca in Eurus. There you go. Look at all that. How utterly bizarre teams I've picked. I want to do a free-to-play starting now. I could get Wukong, but no Artak, and it's putting me off. I mean, there's always going to be, at different times, you'll get different champions. I'd say if you want to do it, just do it. Anytime you start, there's always going to be a reason, you know, not to start at that exact time. Let's kill you there. Hopefully I do get it in the ID. There we go. You can no longer get Wukong. Well, there you go. If that's the case, then you miss that as well. And that's the reason, if you want to start, just start, because there's always going to be a reason, you know, not to. Right. Are we actually going to be able... There's no way. There's just no way we're going to kill that Candrathon. But let's see. We at least survived. If we can't kill the Candrathon through, we can at least kill everyone else. When I started the game, all content creator people had a ninja in their comps. Yeah, there was a time when ninja was pretty pretty awesome in a lot of teams. Still fantastic for Iron Twins. Like there's just no one like other than Acrisia and Newt, I guess, who are going to do the kind of work on Iron, not on Iron Twins, on Sand Devil. Sorry, there's just no one else on Sand Devil that does the work that the ninja does. And again, like I kind of said it in the reaction video today, but it's the issue I have with, oh, they got a bolster set. I think I'll save the A2 as a result and just go A1 and see what we get. Stole my stone skin. That's annoying. Let's go A3, get my increased defense on. Now let's see if I can get the buff strip. I did. Let's go for another A1. Go for the double hit. There we go. Beautiful. How is the Ramantu built? High accuracy in 4-piece stone skin. I will show the build right now. Escape out of there. Recently used. So that is the Ramantu build. Could be higher on the accuracy. Could be higher on the speed or lower on the speed, depending on which way you think you should go. I probably would, if I tweak the build, which I have to at some point, I'll go lower on the speed, higher on the accuracy, and I might even add a bit of damage, to be honest. But I haven't, like I said, I haven't really rebuilt everyone in a long time. Well, not yet 40,000 gems, only 38,000. Oh, we're still a couple of months away from hitting the 40k mark. Although it would be sweet when we do. Right. Team number 1. We just delete everyone. We'll do the Eddie Warlord team against Yumiko. We will, against fight 2, let's just pick, and we'll edit from there. So, what are we going to do? Probably that does work nicely, and then I want someone, probably someone tanky, because Lydia means I don't really want to revive. So I could either go for Goffred or Asuga. And I think I'll probably pick Goffred just for fun. Because I never do. He never gets used. He also needs a rebuild. Only 500 accuracy is pretty poor, to be honest. But they don't have high team power, so it should be fine. Then fight 3. I think we want Duchess and Ultimate Death Knight. And we actually need to do quite a lot of damage. We need to get through this trio. And how are we going to kill that triple threat? I think Ramantu and maybe Leoris. Can Leoris do it? With Ramantu, I feel like yes. Yeah, let's try that. Let's see if we get this done. And Hefrak Storm. Job. Beautiful. Stay 1. Eventually we'll get the kill. Eventually. Who has a lot of high star sheep? I didn't actually bother checking whether they had polymorph. I just picked what I wanted to pick. I also should have picked a cleanser in this team, but I didn't. Oh, mistakes were made. Let's go with the stun. And let's go I'll just go with the A2. Okay, it's fine. We don't need to worry too much. Last team had a 6-star polymorph. Okay. We'll see what happens. Roll the dice with Ramantu. Probably won't get the block passives, but as long as I get the strip after they buff themselves, that might just give me the opportunity to get enough damage off with Lloris that we can win. Let's buff ourselves. They've got no way of stripping me anyway. Who was the polymorph on? Was it on Wither? I guess it was. I think 2 more 4-stars. Excellent. Who didn't have polymorph? So probably Rotos didn't have polymorph. I'll go A2 against Duchess, who had high resistance. Never mind. Yeah, Polly. Asuga did not have polymorph. There you go. And let's just go A1 there. Get the provoke. Now this time round, now that you've used all your abilities, didn't even get the strip on with it. Fine, I just want to get, I didn't get the strip on Duchess either. Man, that's tough. Let's go A3. Alright, we're making progress. Resist. Go on, do your revive. There you go. Go A2. And see if I can get, nah, it just resists. Oh, that's annoying. Let's see. Can we? Yeah, that will be fine. High resist, but pretty squishy actually. I say we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. Swift parry? Are you kidding me? A high resist, swift parry. Still can't get polymorphed if everything gets resisted. Would you recommend a new player to go for either Ugir or Timid? Oh, can I just kill Duchess? Is the question. Get the decrease attack there. That With is keeping this Duchess pretty alive. But I have got the Duchess down very low a couple of times. Oh, that was a mistake. Let's do that. No. Let's see. Yes. There we go. We managed it. Would a new player go for either Ugir? Well, I mean, if you're a new player, you shouldn't bother going for Ugir. I don't think you'll be in a position to be able to do that unless you're spending. Or Timid. Who's Timid? Why can't I remember who Timid is? How would you get Timid? How long did it take for me to max my Great Hall? I don't know, like 2 years? I feel like it was around 2 years. Oh, was Timid the last fusion? Well, I mean, you can't go for Timid then, because it's already finished. But Ugir as a new player, I just think the only reason to really go for Ugir is the A3. I think otherwise if you have all the shards that you need as a new player somehow without having spent a penny, you're better off probably going through 2x's and stuff, I would say. But I mean, ultimately, there's no single answer. I did see some people asking earlier about Summon Rush. I haven't done it yet. I will do it, but not on stream. I'll record it as a video and I'll upload it tomorrow. Fusions are very expensive nowadays for new players, so unless you've got Ultra Nightmare on farm, it's better off probably waiting until there's a really good fusion, like a Newt or Helicath, or someone that's gonna like Emic, another example. Someone who's just gonna unlock the game. Razelvarg was another one this year, who was really, really, really good. Tag team. Do we want to do another? We got what, half an hour left. Do we want to do a bit more tag team? Because I'm kind of getting a bit tired of it. Or do we want to? We can't do any live arena. I do so little live arena, as you can see, but I probably should. We could do a bit of Hydra. There's no Doom Tower to be done. Not really any faction wars. I can just use this key, get it done. Did you collect the new promo code? No, I have not actually. Yeah. The problem with I Love Raid is, do I? Do I love the game anymore? Am I planning on playing Live Arena in the future? I might actually do some. I might do some. I thought it could be interesting on a stream. I think Live Arena could be interesting for a bit of streaming at some point. I think I'd like to kind of rebuild my arena champions first and do a bit more of the tag team, kind of get my eye in and rebuild some champions, and then kind of have a bit of an idea about who I'd quite like to do. That's kind of my thinking. But the problem I have with Live Arena is it's always at times it just doesn't suit me. Like when I tend to play, it's the wrong time for Live Arena. So, like what they've got 3-4 sessions a day where it's live. I think there's only one where I'm not at work and it's quite late. And it's like, I don't tend to like playing that late. I tend to do, I guess most of the play I do would be between, say, 5 and 8 UK time, 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. That tends to be my window. And I think Live Arena, this is going to be active at 8 p.m. So it's kind of annoying. Like if it was active right now, I would actually jump in and do a few fights. But it isn't, and it's almost never active at a time when I want to play. So that's kind of generally my issue with it. Aside from all the other obvious problems with a mode like Live Arena in a game like this, for me it's always time. Time ends up being the factor that determines most. I say let's jump in and do a bit of Hydra. I can at least do the first 30 minutes of Hydra, and that will be interesting enough. What is nice since the Hydra showcase, the video I did, is I now have my 6th star on Shamil. So let's get some damage. I kind of want to swap out Mithrala for Michinaki. I think that would be fun as a potential team. Right, let's hit auto briefly. Who do we want to kill? Wrath is annoying, but is negative affinity. Let's go A3 on Decay, and then I'll go with Shamil on Mischief. Another thing I'm thinking of is I might re-gear Newt to have high enough resistance that I don't need to have the decrease accuracy out. That's A1 on Torment to get TM. Live Arena is totally balanced for me as a new player. I presume. I presume you're joking. But I found Live Arena was horrendous when I played it on my free-to-play challenge series. Because there just aren't that many active people, and most people that are active had like, massively higher player power than I did. Yeah, just I don't know. I feel like they've kind of missed the mark with Live Arena. That's very much my feeling. Do I care about Hydra Clash? Not really. I mean, I will try and get a decent score to help out my clan, but I feel like the game mode, I feel like they made a complete mess of it. I think that you should get a chest if you hit the requisite score, no matter where your clan ranks. I think the clan competition part should have either a separate reward pool or some other reward that's separate from your own damage part. Because like it just doesn't feel good if you spend a lot of time doing 3 manual Hydra keys. We haven't got decrease accuracy on Mischief even once. Like, it doesn't feel good if you put all this work in and then you get nothing for it. And it just, I think it's just going to make clans have internal political issue as a result. People are going to feel that, you know, members aren't pulling their weight and that it just, yeah, it's just not good. It's not good. It's not a good feeling if you spend, you know, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever you do on Hydra, really maxing your damage, and then you get literally nothing. So my view is you should get one chest for your personal contribution, and then if you finish in the top 3, you should like get another chest for that. Because to be honest, it's also going to take years to get like decent jewelry in the right slot of the right type in the right faction. Oh, it's just rubbish. What do you think is a decent damage total? I mean, I tend to do like between 650 and 850 because I don't do any of the cheese strats and I haven't really bothered really sorting out my brutal and normal teams yet. But I will do that at some point. But like, yeah, it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't excite me to do it. But I just don't want to let my clan down completely. So there's no point trying Madman. He's getting nerfed. The nerf bat is coming. I will once again go there, although I probably should have gone on the severed head. Yeah, I think I want a participation chest. That's what we all want. It is personal rewards all over again. And you'd have thought, I mean, the thing is, for them, it works. Because people are gonna, you know, there are enough tryhards in the game that it's going to have the desired effect. It's going to increase engagement in the game mode. People are gonna, you know, chase those artifacts. But it's one of those things like that they push everyone to breaking point. So people will do it until they just snap, and then people just quit. So it's like you won't even get quiet quitting. You know, it's not like people will keep going through the motions that much. They'll be playing really hardcore, and then they'll just like, I'm done, and just completely stop, because it's very difficult to play if you've a kind of a hardcore player. It's very difficult to play this kind of a game casually. So I think they'll eventually just lose a lot of players. I think they already are, to be honest. Right. Who takes more damage? I'm not sure, but I'll go there. 1 million damage for good old Shamil. Got nice damage per turn going at the moment. Let's heal myself up. Get that decreased speed. I'd like to be able to A2 here, but I don't want Mischief to steal buffs from Newt. Next game update, yeah, it's going to be massive. I mean, the reality is there's so many people that are kind of hanging on at the moment, waiting to see, is the next big piece of content that they've been, you know, promising, is it really going to be bigger and better than Hydra, than Doom Tower rather? I mean, I struggle to believe that it will be, but it would be amazing if it was. Let's just say that. Right. 16 million from 19 turns. Not so bad. Better than Doom Tower. That is what they say. I think they said bigger than Doom Tower rather than better. But either way, like, that is a massive statement, because Doom Tower was, for me, the best piece of content they ever added to the game. So the idea of something being better than that, oof, that's high praise. Right. Who do we want to attack here? Probably you. Another 1 million damage. More paywall than Doom Tower. Maybe that's what they mean. Bigger money sink than Doom Tower. Doom Tower was too free to play friendly. So when they say bigger, they meant bigger in financial commitment. Who knows? Better for Plarium rather than the player. We'll see. We'll see. I don't have high hopes, but that is, I think a lot of people are basically just hanging around to see what the content is, and then they'll either quit or not thereafter. I feel like that's what I'm doing. What difficulty is this? Nightmare. We only do Nightmare. That's a shame. Got the cleanse. And now we're going to get, hopefully we'll get some block debuffs. Block buffs, or rather only one. I wasn't paying attention. We're going to get a Poison Cloud out here. And then Shamil's going to get eaten. Oh, man. That is really annoying. Oh, we got a little reprieve. We have a reprieve. Can we turn this round to our advantage? I'm sure we can. But I made a big mistake there. Haven't even touched Fire Knight Hard Ice Golem, or Dragon. Yeah, oh, no problem. Hard Ice Golem or Dragon, but finite is stupid. It is like finite hard. They've overtuned that so much. Like it just concerns me. And you look at the other fights, things like Iron Twins, Sand Devil, Shoguns, and even Hydra when it first came out. It's like they're struggling these days to build content that is, balanced enough that people can tackle it, but challenging without being kind of ridiculous. I feel like they just their only solution is to say, oh, we want 800 accuracy, we want 1,000 accuracy. Just keep increasing the stats in a linear fashion, or they do some unusual mechanics, and the only way to actually tackle it is to ignore it. Like no one fights Sand Devil the way Sand Devil's intended. It's like it just isn't. But I mean, I think they're the architects of their own downfall in that regard. Like they've made a game with 800 champions and however many gear sets we now have. It's like that's got to be extremely hard to balance. I don't envy that. That's an incredibly difficult thing to do. And I think it's little wonder they struggle. Well, I think where they don't help themselves is they never change things. They don't tweak enough. Like, try it, realize that it doesn't work or that something is overtuned, and make tweaks. Like, take some risks. Try and change stuff every now and then. Mix up the meta. I don't know. They just seem to kind of not bother. Like they spend however much time they do creating some content, and then when they release it, it's like, yep, that is that piece of content. That's never gonna change ever again. Let's hope we got it right the first time, because we're never gonna change it. Like imagine if other games never tweaked anything and relied on getting everything perfect the first time. You say tweaking doesn't increase revenue, but I reckon it does. I just think it's hard to quantify the increase in revenue you get from refinement. I think it tangibly would increase their revenue, but it's just the analytics are never going to really cleanly show it. I think that's the thing. The truth is, if tweaking didn't have tangible benefits, other industries and other um, companies wouldn't do it, but they do. They do, try new recipes. Like okay, Coke won't change the recipe of original Coke, but they do introduce other variations and they try things over time and see what works. So they keep the core product, but that doesn't stop them. They don't just go like, oh, we've made this one drink, it's great, everyone loves it. Let's just keep that forever and not try anything else. They will change the recipe on the less popular drinks, and some they'll stop completely, and maybe you should buy buy some other drink company completely if they've come up with a good product. So like it does happen in other walks of life. 2 turns until consumption, so we need to try and save an ability at some point. 32 million damage, 46 turns. Pretty good. think my record was 170 million. I'm definitely not going to make a PB whilst I'm trying to read chat and play at the same time. Gotta focus. Gotta give Hydra your undivided attention if you want to get the big numbers. Be nice if we got a torment back again at some point. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oof, just space for that provoke. Let's buff again. No block buffs, it's kind of annoying. Ah, now we've got it. Block buffs out. 0 turns until consumption. So I'm going to hold back with Newt on the A3. Just A1 there. Get the Hex out. The decrease accuracy, pretty nice. Decrease attack. Oh, perfect. Let's go straight for the big damage. Any thoughts on the latest Raid Digest? You know what? I haven't actually read it. I did watch Saf's video on it on my train on the way home last night after work, and I know the crux of the matter is that they're just, you know, they're nerfing Madman but not touching Yumiko Thunder, which is, let's be honest, is anyone surprised? I mean, it's stupid of them. Obviously, it's the wrong decision, but are we actually surprised that that's the decision they've come to? I can't say I'm surprised. Need to get that provoke back up. Yeah, we did it. I think I'll probably kill Decay in a second. Yeah, it's just nonsense. For anyone who has ever watched Monty Python in their lives, the thing with Plarium is it always makes me think of the skit where the person's getting slapped in the face with the fish, and it's like, that person is the player base. We just stand there getting slapped with this raw fish repeatedly, and we just take it. It's like, give me some of that fish action. Slap me some more. And I was like, I kind of said on the video, you know, if we want to change that, we can. We just stop playing. It's the most reliable way to heal up. I probably should have waited until I had buffed up. And what are we going to do here? We only got 4 debuffs there, which is kind of annoying. Right, let me see if I can get the Newt to kill Decay. That would be ideal. Exactly, Madman doesn't make money. Right, I'm just going to go and kill Decay before the cleanse came out. Let's get the decreased speed, let's get the Hex out. And we'll just go for the Severed Head. I think I probably could have a higher damage per turn if I'd really kind of been paying more attention, basically. Let's get the weaken out, though. 100k on the A1. So what we're really trying to aim up for is to get a Newt A3 on Suffering whilst the Severed Head is still severed. That would be nice. Get some good damage from that if it happens. We'll see. It's not gonna happen. 1 turn and it ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna go on to Torment just to see if I can get enough TM boost on neck mode to then see if I can actually get get Newt to come back. We will get a severed head. 1 million damage there, though. And is Newt going to get back in time? We are at nearly full turn meter. I'll save the A2. Very close. 9 turns till consumption, so no problems there. And we just did it. Very close. Nice bit of extra damage. Get the decreased speed on that newly severed head. And we'll go over there, because we got the weaken up there. Decay. Yeah, that's going to be a bit tricky. Got the decreased speed out. We should be able to get to 5 debuffs. We're at 3 or 5. I'm going to try and get my TM boosted so I can get back round to Cantra. Get the weaken out on the severed head as well. And I think we'll get back down to Cantra now. Hopefully we'll get the provoke. And we did. Fantastic. I wonder if they will ever add the Void Hydra head that's shown in the background. I mean, they talked about adding other Hydra heads, but they never bothered. And it's been a long time now, right? Hydra's been out quite a while. It's just another of these kind of game modes. They just kind of like, yeah, we'll just sort of forget about it. Also, the whole idea of having Hydra rotations, they don't actually, once you're, say, Brutal Nightmare, they don't change the game. You don't feel any difference in each rotation. It just changes first, couple of minutes of the fight, and then it's just like the same every single rotation. So it's a bit pointless. Is Newt Boy in Reflex or Refresh? I think he's actually got a bit of both. I think is the reality. I want to get rid of Decay. Decay annoys me, even though it's weak affinity. We got a bit of a problem here. If Necmo dies, we're in a bad spot. So we need to make sure that doesn't happen. Yeah, I agree that just adding a Hydra head by itself won't improve the game. But I think you could do it in a broader tweak of the overall game mode. And it's things people have said before, maybe not all the heads should be spawnable on every rotation. And if you want, I shouldn't have attacked Torment just then. Say you want, I don't know, I can't even remember how many it is. I think it's 6 heads. Say you want 6 heads in every rotation. If you have a pool of 6, it's always the same 6 heads in all 6 rotations. But if you had 9 heads or 12 heads in total, and it was always 6, then at least every rotation would be completely unique. And that would make the actual fights more dynamic or more interesting. And what should actually happen is that should only really occur on the harder difficulties. The lower difficulties should be consistently easier. Who am I going to attack here? I'll probably just get some more TM fill. And then Hydra Clash, we have kind of already said, like, it would be very different if there was a participation chest. It would be very different if they actually tried to balance some of the mechanics that are evidently overpowered. And let's be honest, there really aren't that many. What is actually imbalanced is basically it's Yumiko is the main one. Uh, Yumiko resetting herself is a big problem. And Trunda's buggy A2. I mean, it's been buggy for ages. 3 turns until consumption. It's probably not worth risking. In fact, I shouldn't have done that either, because we didn't have decreased accuracy on Mischief. But the Trunda Yumiko thing, is anyone actually running that on Nightmare? Because surely Nightmare's a bit too difficult for that. You just get crazy damage on the lower difficulties, no? I mean, maybe some people do it on Nightmare. I haven't really haven't been paying that much attention. I used to watch a lot more raid content than I do these days. Again, it's a combination of time, but also interest. I've been playing the game 3.5 years. It's not as thrilling as it once was. You know what I think's going to happen here, and it's a worry. My worry is that one of these other heads is going to eat Kantra before. Okay, we just got lucky. I was going to say before Decay took the turn, and then I'd lose the provoke. But we got a little bit fortunate there. The timing worked nicely. I hate using the A3 on Mischief. You get so much less damage. Let's use the Severed Head. Another million or so. There are people with insane gear who run in Nightmare doing 15 billion. Okay. But yeah, I think they need to just fix Trunda's A2 and fix the Trunda resetting herself. And then, I mean, it's still going to be imbalanced because anyone who has a Gazur or a Krizia is obviously going to destroy anyone who doesn't. But at least, a Krizia only does, what, like 4 times more damage than this team will? Like, it's a lot more, but it's not the same degree more as Nekmo. So close to dying. This is a problem. Kind of want to see if I can kill Wrath before it takes a turn, because I'm concerned that Nekmo's going to die. Yep. That was my concern. So the key is wasted. Anyway, it's also the end of the stream, so I'm going to have to redo this key. It was going quite nicely. 60 million from 82 turns. 1 mistake, and yeah. Regroup. Right. I will thank everyone who came and watched. We did some nice work in tag team. We were doing a nice key in Hydra. I will do that key off stream when when I have more time to focus. On Nightmare they do 25 billion. Is that a Krizia team? So surely that 25 billion requires Trunda Yumiko then, if that's what people are doing. I would assume so. Yeah, I mean Victor Tez is another level, but it's fun to see or hear about the stuff that he is able to do. It's definitely pushing the game to like new limits, which is part of the fun in kind of any acquisition RPG. Being able to go and like one shot the boss. That's always been fun in any game if you can eventually get to that level. Anyway, that's all for another day. Once again, thanks for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.